What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 305, and I'm joined by none other than Dark Pledge himself, Dick Meyers. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Not sure how good I'm gonna be after this interview because today we're trying to get some truths here. We're trying to get some truths. And after speaking with Kelly, I'm kind of seeing your side here, man. So I don't know
Oh,
if
you see my side?
just a little bit. Just a
Okay,
little. So I don't know if people are gonna like me after this interview. We're gonna see. I've
that's all
been
right.
okay with the Revolver fans so far, but I'm not sure if they're gonna like me so much after this one. But before we get into all of that, before we start spilling your truths here and all of that, because I know everyone wants to talk about that situation, I have the first question to ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to Dick Myers?
The correct. Oh, that encapsulates a lot because a lot. I mean, there's a lot that pro. I mean, base value just means pro wrestling to me, but there's a lot that goes into that. So, in terms of the craft, I mean, I guess it's just the art itself. But I mean, it is there's so much. It's a bad answer because there's so many like different aspects that go into it. But it's just the art of pro wrestling itself. I like the name of the podcast. I certainly respect the craft.
Thank you. No, and again, that's the best thing about this question is just it leaves to interpretation. There's so many ways to define it. There's so many ways to figure out what it means to you. So it's all good. So we appreciate that right there. And I would assume this is toward you here already. The comments are already coming in. They're calling you a sellout in the chat. My apologies again. This is gonna be a little bit of it's gonna be a tough crowd today. It's gonna be a tough crowd.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm
So
used to it.
So it's gonna be a little bit of we got my boy Mark. Damn, why didn't you not like me already? Okay, he covers it up with the I love you part. Okay, that's a little nicer. See, the crowd's gonna be mixed today. It's gonna be a little mixed. But before again, as we continue here, now I have to ask for you, what was it that made you decide to step into the craft here? What was it something that's like, this isn't just something I like to watch, this isn't just a hobby thing. I need to get myself in through those ropes right there and get into the squared circle.
Well, when I was younger, I never particularly had a dream job until about when I was like 10 or 11. I was hanging out with my friend, my friend Aaron Goldschmidt, and we're just flipping the channels. And I come across Friday Night SmackDown, and I'd already known what WWE was at that point. Like I knew the Randy Ortons and the John Cenas, but I didn't even know like the Raw, like the Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. I didn't know that they were different shows. And I asked my friend, I said, "What is this?" And he said, "This is Friday Night SmackDown." And immediately I jump off the couch and I like get in front of the TV. And I remember like it was yesterday. This is when Big Show just came back and he was beefing with Mark Henry. And man, he just started beating the shit out of Mark. Wait, correct. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to cuss?
You're allowed to curse, man. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, my bad. I should have asked beforehand. Yeah, but he's just beating the shit out of Mark Henry, and I was getting fired up. Like I didn't even know who Big Show was all but 3 minutes ago. And now 3 minutes later, I'm standing up, 10-year-old me standing up in front of my television, screaming, "Let's go, Big Show!" Like whoop his ass. And then Teddy Long comes out, like, "Hold on, player, like you got your championship match. Just don't break his ankle with the chair," because that was like the gimmick that they were setting
Yeah.
up. Yeah, you probably already know what I'm talking about. And from then on, it clicked like that. It wasn't immediately like this is what I want to do, but I was immediately a fan.
Gotcha.
And when I got to about age like 13 or 14, me and my boy Enrico went to a Rockstar Pro Wrestling show in Dayton, Ohio, and that was like my first glimpse of independent wrestling. And then that after that show, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is something I really do want to pursue, and that's what I did. When I was in high school, I found a training school near me and just kicked off from there.
Got you. So now when you're in that mindset now, you find that after finding, you know what, maybe this is something I want to try. This is something I want to get my teeth in. When is that moment for you? Like, you know what? This was the right choice here. This was something. You know what? Watching that the years beforehand, and now finally getting in there, getting in the ring. When was it that it clicked? Like, you know what? We're gonna keep doing this now. We're gonna find who Dick Myers is.
uh, maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but I think when I kicked Brent Oakley in the freaking nuts, I think that's when it really clicked for me
You
that
mean
this
when
is
it
what I'm
was?
meant to do.
You mean because of course we have to have it on deck here. So we'll be right back, folks. After
full-fledged frat brother here by taking out Killer Kelly. Oh, what the fuck? Look at the smile on his face. What has the pledge done? The pledge has been corrupted by Killer Kelly. The pledge.
I cut it there because when I had Brent on, we went a little deeper just to show the severity. But I definitely don't want to keep going into just what happens next because
Yeah, I don't
so
want to reopen
that's
that
the
wound. I
moment.
understand.
That's the moment right there where it's like, you know what? I think I'm good. We're in this now. That's
Oh yeah,
that's when it all clicks.
there's no going back after that.
Oh, damn, damn. Again, it's. I guess now we begin here. Just how could you do this to men that get you stood by, you were brothers with? We look at such a happy picture right here. Just look at that from the young upbringings to now being a part of Revolver here, moments of glory to then just throw it all away.
Uh, you know, um, did I really throw it all away? I mean,
Well, again,
I
I'm speaking very unbiased here with the situation because again, many could agree. Maybe you didn't throw it all away. That is again,
I
like I said,
upgraded.
now I'm starting to see things. Like I said, after speaking to Kelly as well, I could possibly see some reasons, but we want to get to the nitty gritty here and speak your truth, brother. What is it that made you see the red light, if you will?
I mean, for let me go back to Brent Oakley. Brent Oakley, like you said that. I mean, you guys are all bro, and this is Caden or KC too. I mean, you said that you guys are like brothers. I mean, behind the scenes, it's not really like that. I was be pledge behind the scenes as well, and I was treated like that all the time. Brent comes across as a guy that thinks his shit don't stink. All right, and his shit does stink, and he needs to know that. And no one was gonna fucking tell him that other than the pledge, his own pledge. And I kicked him in the nuts, and he hasn't shown his face since. When, have we seen Brent since then? I mean, you had him on the podcast, but
Oh
has he
yeah,
been
yeah.
at a wrestling show since then?
Nope, we have not seen
That
him on.
I think I exposed something in him. He ain't shit without the pledge, right? When when I'm the pledge of Alpha Sigma Sigma, what's next for me? Where do I go from there? I was the pledge for Alpha Sigma Sigma for years, and where that all that got us was my ass beat, and maybe sometimes Brent got the pin, but at my expense. What did that do for me? I joined Red, and immediately my first match after joining Red, I already scored a pin-4 victory over my former brother KC. I'm already on the up and up. Kelly gets me. Kelly understands me. Steve gets me. Steve understands me. Alex, he gets me. Ricky Champagne, he gets me. Those guys get me. They understand me. They know what I can bring, and they bring the best out of me.
Okay.
Brent, I mean, he didn't. Brent or Casey, they didn't. They never really saw the true potential of the pledge. They kind of just used me to score some cheap pinfalls or some cheap pops, whatever. The pledge is the glue that held Alpha Sigma Sigma together, and I mean it's starting to crumble now. I think everyone's seeing that, and I mean it will be on full display or Saturday in that four-way
Yeah,
tag
we're
match. It'll be on full display.
definitely again that is going to be happening this Saturday. Wrestling Revolver presents Tales from the Ring. as it's going to be 2 chances to get to see some Red in action, as it will be in that World Tag Team Championship Invitational, as well as Pledge in his own match, as it will be the return of the Sudden Death Scramble. But before we get into that, I do want to get a little more into what you were saying there. Was this ever a situation you brought up, though, to Alpha Sigma Sigma? Was this something of you wanting to feel truly like a equal brother here? Because I've been in that situation. I've been an intern, unfortunately, in a group or two, and I've tried to state my claim. It's difficult, especially when you're in the bottom of the situation. So I get that. But was this ever a conversation, or was this more just you being belittled again and again by people we assumed were like your brothers, like I said here?
Yeah, I mean, I never had the conversation with them because, to be honest with you, I never even really noticed it for myself until I had other people kind of tell me, and then I kind of stepped back, opened my eyes, and then I realized what was actually going on. Yeah, I never like think about. I was the pledge of Alpha Sigma Sigma for 3 years. 3 years. I was never promoted. I'm still an underclassman. I'm still a pledge after 3 freaking years. Everything I did for those guys.
That's a little bit of a long stay as a pledge.
It is a
Yeah.
little bit of a long stay as a pledge. And
Especially again
yeah, I
after
didn't have the conversation with them.
multiple wins, even the month prior at another Friday. If we want to be frank, it was because of your little bit of an assist. Brent Oakley gets a win over
Exactly.
Steve Macklin, a
For
former
sure.
Revolver World Champion, right there.
And
So
think about that. And Brett Oakley didn't even realize that. It was the guy that he was wrestling that realized the potential in the pledge. I mean, you can only just shit on someone and just ignore them for so long before they do something about it.
yeah,
And I guess people don't like that when the underdog, when the little person finally punches back, fights back. I guess people don't like that. People loved the pledge when he was a part of Alpha Sig, when he was the underdog, the little guy. People loved the pledge, but then as soon as Pledge stood up for himself, did something about it, then they start booing it. Shane, you suck dick. Am I wrong?
yeah. They were not too. They've not been too fond of you. Every time you go out now, any post that's about Red or Dick Myers, it's just very. Like I said, when I announced this, people are not too happy. When I asked Kelly, because we tried to go through the right channels, made sure the permission was granted. As you saw, we
For
got our
sure.
permission when we had her on.
I,
And
I appreciate
yeah,
that. I
they're
truly do. I didn't
no,
want
of
to,
course. Again,
stir anything up.
we definitely do not want to get again. We don't want to get Daddy Kelly mad here. We definitely don't,
Yeah,
because I've
definitely
seen
don't.
what she can do. So
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
we're gonna stay on the good side of Red here, because yeah, I rather not uh get my mustache as well shaved, or possibly my hair, because I do like the hair. See, you can see the little bit of bias since the red is there, so I am
Oh
a
yeah,
fan
dude.
here.
I appreciate that.
But again, this situation. So let's talk about that now. Now that you are part of Red here, are you feeling that feeling that you wanted here, getting that equal treatment, that brotherhood treatment, and that family affair like we expected from Alpha Sigma Sigma?
Oh my gosh, yes. Even just after last show. I mean, after we got the like just in the locker room after the match, it was electric. I felt like I was on top of the world, and Steve and Alex and Kelly, they made me feel like I was on top of the world. They get me, like I said, they get me. They understand me. They like we're on the same page. We are a good team. We're good for each other.
Understood. Again, we will see how that pays dividend, especially as we get into the matches for this weekend. But before we do that, we have a comment here saying, "Do you feel like you can learn more from being with Red?"
Oh,
Mm,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's a great question, but I absolutely. I've already learned 10 times more with Red in the month and a half I've been with them than the 3 years I did with Alpha Sigma Sigma. I didn't really learn much with Alpha Sig. There wasn't much to learn. I mean, we were getting our ass beat majority of the time. And when I did the stuff that I did learn at Alpha Sig, it was towards the end, and that's when I was learning of my true potential and what I could be.
got you. Now, again, that is the thing I think none of us were looking into. Everyone, like I said, even with Kelly on here, I'm thinking, oh, but it feels like they were united. They were a family. They were everything. But then you start to look, where is Dick Myers in all this?
Yeah,
Because even,
him and Brent. I
again,
mean, him and Casey are a family.
because no slight to Brent. Again, we had him on here. I tried to hear both sides. I wanted to hear everyone's take on this situation before we finally spoke to you. And I forget to mention when they did the little crossover with Vibe, you were never there either.
Yeah,
It was
where was
always
I? It was always who?
Brendan KC.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're onto something. Me and you have
Yeah.
something in common, right? You know what we have in common? We recognize patterns.
Hold on. Hold on. But of course, we're gonna get that comparison here. He's the dirty Dom of Red. I can imagine that's
That's
something
what
that's
everyone
just
says.
flooded in your situation now. Because of
Yeah.
course everyone's gonna give the comparison. Everyone's gonna give this, but again, it might pay out though. Because again, you're getting to.
Oh yeah.
I think you're in a winning situation right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the comparisons.
So, but now let's get into this weekend. Again, it's a very, very red studded field at Wrestling Revolver because you guys have an opportunity to walk out 3-0 after this weekend. So let's get into this first, as it's going to be the return of the sudden death scramble here, as you enter the scramble that will feature the unit's own Jessica Havoc, the End Seeker Dante Leone, Matt Diesel, Vincent Nothing, and then a mystery opponent that will be entering the scramble here. And your thoughts on this one, because there's something interesting. Vincent Nothing definitely has a little bit of a history with a current Red member as well, Ricky Shane Page. So I can imagine Ricky's schooling you up and letting you know everything you need to know about Vincent Nothing.
For sure. Yeah, Ricky's a great mentor, and he'll give me a good game plan. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm excited for the match. Last time I was in a scramble was actually it was back in Dayton. I forget what show it was, but I ended up at my own expense throwing my body on the line so that Brent could get the pin on Rich Swann and win the scramble for himself. So this time I'm not doing it for anyone else other than myself. So
I was
I'm
about to
feeling
say
pretty
again, it's
confident.
showing Red has been paying off because now you're in a match as yourself here. It is Dark Pledge, Dick Myers
And
in a
Dick
match.
Myers, I have a name.
Yeah,
I have an
yeah.
identity.
So
Not just the
look at that.
pledge.
Look at that. Again, things are as much as like I say, it's questionable antics, certain things, but it's proven dividend here. It's proven dividend, and now we have Dick Myers getting to speak his mind, getting to talk here, getting to let the people know because all you had to do was ask, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we wanted to have him on here. Because I feel like no one really wanted to talk to you and just ask, how are you, Dick? What is going on here? Why is this a thing? You know?
Yeah. Then no one gave a shit. They only cared about Brent's side of the story for the longest. And that's why I appreciate you, Ray, for having me on and letting me tell my side of the story. Because there
Of
are
course.
two sides to every story.
And this is what I wanted to hear. Again, when I had Brent on, he definitely, like I said to Kelly, pun intended, he made you sound like a dick. But now that we finally get your side here, we hear again the real antics of the behind the scenes, the stuff that no one sees but you three, that we're seeing what was going on. Because the picture says 1,000 words. We're thinking you guys are happily ever after here. You guys are trying to get those Revolver tag team titles, trying to do your thing, and a lot of trouble in paradise, it seems.
Yeah, I mean that photo itself, that seems like a lifetime ago that was taken. I got blonde hair in that. I don't even got a mustache in that. I mean, it's the gains together in that, or the former gain is together in that. There's no resemblance of the dark pledge and that pledge that you see in that photo.
Not you. Which also, I can imagine where the answer is going to be. But before we continue, no remorse though. Shaving his mustache, knowing how
Oh
much.
hell no! I'll do it again. I'll do it 1,000 times if I could.
Ah,
Next time I see him, I probably will do it again. That
ah.
shit's ugly anyways.
Come on. It's a nice stash. I'll give him that. I'm a little jealous because I
I'm not
can't
giving
grow
him a
one of
damn
those.
thing. That stash is sorry.
Hey, again, we're this is what we're doing here. We're giving you the open forum, so speak as you will. But again, going into that scramble though, it's good to see those opportunities are coming. And again, tough opportunity here. Multiple members that we've seen a part of that Revolver roster, and then that surprise that you never know who can make their way to Iowa this weekend. So we shall wait and see.
I'm excited to see who's going to be the mystery opponent.
But with that, again, it's a chance for Red to win some gold here, as it will be the Wrestling Revolver World Tag Team Championship Invitational, as it will be the Rascals, Alpha Sigma Sigma, Red, and the Dub Club all competing here for a shot to become the new World Tag Team Champions after Lince Dorado deciding that he wants to focus on his singles career here and focus on that Wrestling Revolver remix division. So now your thoughts on this one, especially because again, it was kind of, we started to see and we figured the Rascals are going to be involved in this. We figured Red would definitely be involved in this, former tag team champions. And then it was confirmed Alpha Sigma Sigma will be involved in this. So your thoughts now on Red and Alpha Sigma Sigma will touch once more this weekend.
I'm a little upset that I'm not one of the two that's going to be in there with them, but I'll be watching, and then I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Red takes home the gold on Saturday. I mean, we have the numbers advantage. We got the. Is there a more dominant faction in Revolver right now other than Red?
At the moment, I can't say there is because the unit, unfortunately, is kind of dying out right now. I don't want to say that too loudly because I don't want to piss off a certain Jessica Havoc and Jake something, but I feel like the unit's dying a bit. They're losing numbers as we speak, and the second gear crew is basically obsolete at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's you guys taking over. There's no
I
one
think
really
so
that
too.
can put the brakes on Red's dominance right now.
No, no one, and no one can, no one's going to. It's great. It's a great thing to be a part of. But yeah, I fully expect that Alex and Steve are going to go out there and handle business like they always do. Those are, I mean, they're two professionals. They're experts at their craft. I mean, I got no doubt in my mind that they're just going to go in there and run house on the three other teams and take home the titles.
No, definitely agreed there. And again, we shall see what happens with that situation again, because it's a star-studded field. You have the young team coming in Dub Club, but like I said, you have Red, who are former holders of those Wrestling Revolver tag team titles. You have the Rascals in there that are multi-time tag team champions. And then you have Alpha Sigma Sigma, who I would imagine though that grudge might blind them this weekend. Unfortunately, that lack of experience might come to play because Red, it's all about business. It's all
Yeah.
about business.
Hey, and I mean Steve and Alex, I mean they how long have they been doing this forever? And they were at the last Dayton show, wrestling, getting better. Where was Brent? Brent was hiding because he didn't want anyone to see his hideous mustacheless face. What's Brent been doing since the last Iowa show? Nothing. When Alex and Steve, what they've been doing, they've been getting better. Another reason why I left Red. I can't just stick to, just mediocrity and being content with being on Revolver. No. I want to be the best. And so does Steve, and so does Alex, so does Kelly, and so does Ricky. They're going to get the job done.
Understood. Understood. Again, that will be this Saturday. If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets now. Link in the description down below for this star-studded Tales from the Ring event right there. So much more that will be going down and stuff that, again, you never know what could happen. You never know what happens at these events. That's just stuff that's not even announced. And you look at that roster, it's a pretty star-studded roster. And look at that again. Since joining Red here, look who's on the poster. Look who is right there between RSP and Braden Lee. None other than Dick Meyers.
The Dark
making it on
Pledge.
the main poster right there.
Yeah. I'm not behind Brent's big ass head either. I have my own section of the poster.
Look at that. Again,
Mr.
it's
Small.
hard to it's hard to see that this hasn't worked out for you. Like there's a lot to see here. And look at that. He says, I'll be there. I'll have to make a pledge sign. Well, make sure it's a dark pledge because
Yeah, make sure
that
it's
other
Dark
pledge
Pledge,
is
but
is
I
gone.
appreciate that.
That other pledge is gone. He's no longer here. He won't be at Revolver. It is Dark Pledge, Dick Myers, because he has a name,
Yeah.
folks. He also how has that been the process of having to remind people your name is Dick Myers, like it isn't
Yeah, I
just
mean,
Pledge.
yeah. I can't really blame people because, for the longest, that's why I was referred to as.
Yeah,
People didn't even think I had a name. They thought I was just the Pledge. They thought that's who I was, and I can't blame them. The only person I can blame for the only two people I can blame for that are Casey and Brent. And yeah, I do blame them for that, and that's okay. I'll make sure that Dick Myers, the name Dick Myers, people will remember that.
there you
That'll
go.
be yeah.
That is the name to remember there, ladies and gentlemen, as you continue to enjoy the Wrestling Revolver and beyond, because that's now we're going to go into that now that we've talked about the situation there at Revolver and what you're currently doing at Revolver. How is it for you looking now at the horizons, though? Is there some places that you would like to expand who Dick Myers is onto the wrestling scene here?
Oh yeah, I mean, other than Revolver, of course, it's WWE. I'm a WWE guy. That's where I want to be. I think that's where the
Gotcha.
best are. That's where I want to be.
Gotcha. All right. It all started with a segment like that, so who knows what can happen from there. That's what got you hooked. Future's bright,
Yeah, of
brother. The future's bright. But
course, I appreciate
as
that.
we
Future's
look
bright for
into
you
this
as
here,
well.
of course, as we look into this here, though, again, still very young in your career, still doing your thing, and a lot more to come, even especially this weekend. But I have to ask you, so far in the career that you've had, what would be a match that you say that defines your career so far?
A match?
Yep, a match of yours that you've been in.
Oh, um, yeah. I hate to bring these guys up again, but it'd probably be Alpha Sigma Sigma against SGC at We Got Heat. That was it was a dog fight, and it was especially challenging for me because the like 3 days prior, I had the worst case of sun poisoning I've ever received in my life. I'm a pretty pasty guy, and I don't tan or I burn, and I passed out on the canoe and woke up and just skin was blistering all over. And I remember I was wearing a white long sleeve compression, and after that match, I get on the back and I'm taking off this white long sleeve compression, and my skin is literally like ripping up with the compression. It was so raw, and I just remember feeling very, very we didn't win that match, but I was happy because it was a mental hurdle that I had to go through that the whole entire build up, because I mean SGC, I mean those are some rugged motherfuckers. They're gonna bring it, and they did bring it, but we brought it back that night, and we didn't get the job done. But I proved something to myself that it don't matter if I got sun poisoning, if I got, I don't know, a broken ankle, anything. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna show out, no matter the circumstances. So that's part of the match for me.
Got you. No, that works, and especially a situation where I'm glad you are okay though. That's definitely something. Unfortunately, I can relate to of yeah, not unfortunately getting tan when in
Yeah.
the sun, but more of that nice red
So
color. Again, it's just red that I guess comes to us. That's
yeah,
all it is.
all
But
right. It's
not in a
natural.
good way. Not in a good way, unfortunately, when it comes to the sun.
Yeah.
Um, but no, that is definitely a situation to get through and to be able to do a match like that. That I can imagine. Again, no one knows you just went through that days prior and
Yeah.
deciding, let me step into a situation like this with again men that are willing to fight and do whatever it takes in SGC, who have basically put their bodies on the line in there with the insanity that they do, and to go to war with them. Again, much kudos to you, man.
I appreciate it.
Which, okay, again, this is a situation where it's a loaded question, guy, because imagine where the answer is going to be now, especially hindsight, seeing everything. But I have to ask, coming in with them, though, at the young age that you guys were coming in, it has to mean something still, even with the split of seeing all of you now on that stage, though. Again, I know right now you can't stand them. You rather not talk about Alpha Sigma Sigma, but just seeing you guys be able to make it from those young days to here, how does that mean for you? Even if it's again now apart. Now
Absolutely.
it's apart,
I
seeing that.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, even though I don't like Brunt or KC, I can respect the fact that they are on the stage because we all came from the same place. We trained at the same schools. We came up around the same time. So I mean, we've basically been on the same journey as of yet. So I can respect that. But the people themselves, I can respect how they got here. I can't respect what they did when they got here.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, understood. Again, I was like, oh, this is kind of the touchy question here because it's like, I know he doesn't like him anymore, but just seeing that growth there and see you guys make your way. Because again, shout out to the boys at the DWO podcast. They even said seeing you guys from paying those dues in Revolver to make it now on the shows to see the directions you guys are taking. It is a great moment to see. And for those that have seen the careers that you guys are going up, it's only up from here, man.
Absolutely.
So
Appreciate that.
it's always good with
Yeah.
that. But now again, now it's with R.E.D here. It's the opportunities are endless. Is there anyone when it comes to Dick Meyers that you would like to face at Revolver or again outside of Revolver that's on your radar right now in tag, possibly with a member of R.E.D or even again solo? Now that you're a made man, now you're getting to represent who Dick Meyers is. So now you have the ability to say, hey, let's go after this person here.
Yeah, I would love to wrestle against Ace Austin. I would love to. Ace Austin, little backstory here. Um, my first wrestling school, it fell through, and we were kind of without a school. And then Zachary Wentz and Ace Austin kind of stepped in and offered to basically train all of us who were without a wrestling school. And shortly after that, Wentz got called up to WWE, so it was kind of all on Ace. And Ace didn't have to do that. Ace did it because that's just the type of guy that Ace is, and he trained all of us folks, me, Brent, KC, Damian, Chambers. He trained all of us and got us to where we are today. So I would love to be able to face off against Ace Austin in the ring because I mean he taught me everything I know pretty much. Him and Sammy Callahan. I'd love to wrestle Sammy Callahan as well. It's like my wrestling father right there. Yeah.
Okay. See, and that's a match I had to throw out there the other day when we had Sammy on. Is I feel like if there's anyone possibly, again, just hypothetical here, not saying that it would, but that possibly could go toe to toe right now with this incarnation of R.E.D, might have to be one Sammy Callahan and John Moxley. I think we
Yeah, they
might
don't
need to
stand a
see the
chance though.
Switchblades. Well, again, I'm gonna be neutral here in this one, just saying if
Sure.
there were a match that I think needs to happen in a Revolver ring eventually, might need to be that one. Might need to be
Yeah, I mean,
Switchblades
yeah,
versus
I
R.E.D.
welcome the challenge. But I mean, Red right now is more dominant than the Switchblades ever were at any part in their careers.
Yeah, we're definitely clipping that one right there. just to hear Sammy's take on that, because he's definitely a busy guy right now. So I don't think Sammy's listening to this live here, but we're gonna make sure he hears this clip just so we could see what the Callahan Death Machine has to say about that. But no, that would
Probably won't
definitely
say
be
anything.
interesting to see if again either of those can pan out, especially Ace. Again, I know again that effect that he had on all of you guys and being able to put in that first step for you guys. So to see yeah, where that could go. And hey, that is an opportunity of gold right there because Ace Austin, we'd like to remind everyone, is the current reigning and defending wrestling Revolver heavyweight champion.
And
So,
deservedly slept. So I'm just he should give the Dark Pledge a chance at the title. Why not? What's he got to lose? I guess the title, but he probably thinks that he could beat me.
Well then, again, there you go, Ace. The gauntlet has been thrown, and from a little birdie might have told me Ace Austin will be coming on the podcast very soon. So we'll see if
Really?
we tell him we'll play this clip for him when he comes on the podcast. So if there's
Okay.
anything you would like to say right now to Ace Austin, say it away, brother.
Ace Austin, I love you. You're an amazing wrestler, but you're not half the wrestler I am. And me and you both know that because we train together. You see what I'm capable of. So the challenge is out there, but I'm not gonna, of course, blame you or criticize you for turning down the challenge.
There you go. That is for one Ace Austin there, and again, two challenges that I'm not doubting you, not doubting at all. We're the much respect, but I hope these don't come back to bite you in the butt, brother. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying here.
We'll see.
That confidence is good. The confidence is good. Again, is paying dividend here. Like I said, you're on the poster, you're in the scramble this weekend. But yeah, those are two insane challenges off the rip here. But it's all good. It's all good. But as we start wrapping this up here, brother, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time, and I don't want, again, to get any certain daddy mad at me here. So we're going to be respectful with the time she's allowed us to speak with Dick Meyers here. I have to ask you the final question I ask everyone that comes on, and that is for the Dark Pledge himself, for Dick Meyers. What is the end goal, brother?
The end goal is to go down as the greatest to ever do it, greatest to ever lace him up. That's the end goal. I mean, if that ain't the end goal, then what the hell are you doing? I think Brent feels the same way. I think Ace feels the same way. I think Sammy feels the same way. KC feels the same way. The end goal is just to be the best to ever do it. And if that ain't your end goal, then you're wasting your fucking time. I want to make a lot of money. I want to see my face on TV a lot. I want to see my action figure in Walmarts and Kroger's and not yeah. I want to be the best. I want people to talk about me long after I'm gone because I was the greatest to ever do it.
There you go. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're not already, make sure you are following this man on all of his social media right there. Follow him on Instagram, the Dick Meyers there. Remember, again, his name is Dick Meyers. We're going to make sure that is the thing.
Government name.
Remind him that he has a name. And then on X as well, at the Dick Meyers right there. Again, make sure you have that. Because I can imagine, again, everyone's just like, where's Pledge? Where's Pledge? It's like, no, his name is Dick Meyers. But if you want to call him a Pledge, remember he is Dark Pledge. Because
Dark Pledge.
It's
the
really
Pledge
proven.
Is dead. Dark Pledge is alive.
Again, it's definitely winning here. It's definitely winning.
Look at that blonde hair, right? Look at that blonde hair.
So are you? But even that's changing. We're starting to see a little bit of changes here. The gears looking a little different. We're getting a different side all around here of Dick Meyers. So
The better side.
there you go. But to everyone watching, thank you so much again for tuning in. As always, make sure you are following everything here and be there this weekend. Again, Wrestling Revolver presents Tales from the Ring from the Horizon Event Center. If you can't make it in person, make sure you're checking them out on Thriller TV Plus, where you can catch this stacked event and so much more. But as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody.